I'm John Cena, smash the like button if the World Wrestling Entertainment introduced you to professional wrestling. And no, it was not TNA because their roster was filled with World Wrestling Entertainment guys, so nice try.
One of the most cringe comments you can make to somebody is when you call them a WWE mark. I'm like, that might be the most dumbest thing you can say. Bro, that's like call somebody a virgin when you don't get no pussy. I'm serious, that's the most equivalent of that comment because, listen, we all are fans of the World Wrestling Federation. Guess what, bitch? You are a fan of the WWF. Newsflash, dummy. All Elite Wrestling has been around for 5 years. So, by that logic, by that timetable, what the fuck were you watching before 5 years ago, right? You have to have your head examined. If PWG made you a fan of wrestling, you need your fucking head examined. If ECW, TNA, etc., fucking New Japan, Pro Fake Wrestling, if those companies made you a fan of wrestling, you have no credibility, right? Where's TNA? TNA is trying to use the rub from NXT to stay relevant. Where is Ring of Honor? They are a fucking charity case for Con Man because he is a nice guy. That's it. That's the only reason that Ring of Honor is still around. Is because Con Man is a nice guy. Nobody was trying to buy a Ring of Honor. Now, the World Wrestling Federation, they were trying to buy Ring of Honor, but for cheap. So yes, bitch, Ring of Honor did not make you a fan of fake pro wrestling. But on the same logic, how come you don't watch it right now? How come TNA lost damn near 500,000 viewers the past 15 years, right? So please, fuck you. We all are fans of the World Wrestling Federation. Stop calling people WWE marks. That's so fucking dumb. What the fuck were you watching? These past 20 years, what were you watching? Now, I'm not talking to the old heads. I'm talking to the people that were raised in the 90s and the fucking 2000s. Who made you a fan? It was not TNA. TNA, they were nothing more than an alternative. They were not the number one company. Vince McMahon, he bought all the territories out. He killed the competition, literally. So you can't say that WCW made you a fan of wrestling. No, man. That is so dumb and it's not true. Raw, SmackDown, fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rocky Maivia, Triple H, Taker, Kane, Angle, Chris Benoit, Jericho. Those guys made you a fan of wrestling. It was not Okada. It was not Kenny Omega. That's my point. There's no way in hell that Omega made you a fan of fake pro wrestling. Fuck you. So anybody who says you are a WWE mark, bro, that's like calling somebody a virgin when you don't get no pussy yourself. You are a fan. Okay. If you know who Braun Breaker is, by your logic, that makes you a mark. Why? He's not famous. Nobody knows who Braun Breaker is. You have to watch Raw every week, you fucking mark. You have to watch NXT every week, you fucking mark. And guess what, bitch? I don't watch NXT, okay? I watch highlights, that's it. I know maybe 2-3 people, but the rest, I don't know who the fuck they are. So yes, by your logic, that makes you a fucking mark, right? If you know all the top stars on Raw and SmackDown, how does that not make you a mark of the World Wrestling Federation by your logic, right? Listen, nobody watches All Elite Wrestling. They have failed us. They were supposed to be the number 2 behind the World Wrestling Federation. They failed us, okay? So you can't say that that company made you a fan. There's no such thing as a WWE mark. There's no such thing, man. All Elite Wrestling has only been around for 5 years. So what the fuck were you watching? Brock Lesnar, John Cena, fucking Batista, Orton, CM Junk. Those guys made you people fans of wrestling. If you are around 15, 20, 25, those men that I just named, they made you a fan of wrestling. I'm not lying. I've been told this, that John Cena made you a fan of wrestling. Where is he from? Last time I checked, he never stepped foot in TNA. Who is the biggest star in Hollywood right now? It's Rocky Maivia. Last time I checked, he never stepped foot in New Japan Professional Wrestling. He never stepped foot in Ring of Honor. He never stepped foot in TNA. Right? So the end all be all is World Wrestling Entertainment. That's the end all be all. Right? You cannot be a movie star if you never signed with the World Wrestling Federation. If you are trying to be a wrestler who is trying to make it in Hollywood, you have to have passed through the World Wrestling Federation walls. Okay? I've never met a movie star that came from TNA. I never met a movie star that came from fucking New Japan Professional Wrestling. I never met a movie star that came from Ring of Honor. They all came from the WWE. You stupid dumb bitch. Hulk Hogan came from the World Wrestling Federation. You cannot become a movie star. You cannot become a mainstream star if you don't come from the WWE. Listen, let's talk about MJF. He will never be a star in Hollywood, ever. He will never be a star in Hollywood if he don't sign with the World Wrestling Federation. Let's talk about the Iron Claw. If Max were to sign with the World Wrestling Federation, he would have had a bigger role in that movie. That's my point. The end all be all is the World Wrestling Federation as Sasha Banks. Her ass would have never gotten that role in Star Wars if she never came from the WWE. Same thing with Edge. Edge would have never gotten any roles in Hollywood without the Edge rub, without the WWE rub. Same thing with fucking Rocky Maivia, Wade Barrett, fucking Becky Lynch, fucking Dave Bautista, John Cena. The list goes on and on. The WWE is the end all be all of professional wrestling. That company made you a fan. So it's so confusing. It's like, my God, it's so confusing, right? I don't get it. Why would you call somebody a WWE mark? What does that make you? What were you watching these past 20 years, you stupid dumb idiot? What does that make you? I don't get it. Like, what? Now, I'm sure there's some old heads that will tell you they were fans of wrestling before the WWF. Okay, I get that. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the fans that were raised in the 90s and the 2000s. Them. Bro, there was nothing else outside of WCW. Now, let's talk about WCW. They are gone. They got bought out 20-something years ago. They got bought out. So, your ass had no choice, bro. You had no choice but to watch the WWF. If you find time on a Monday or a Friday to watch Raw and SmackDown, bro, what does that make you? That makes you a fan of the WWE. That's how that works. That means you found time to watch their show for 3 goddamn hours. Guess what, bitch? That makes you a fan, right? If not, don't watch it. But you do watch. If you watch, that makes you a fan. Let's talk about All Elite Wrestling. I watch it every week. Does that make me a fan? Yes, that does make me a fan because I found time out of my busy ass schedule to sit down and watch. When I talk shit about All Elite Wrestling, that means I want their show to be better so they can be great competition for Triple H, so we can have better shows every week. I want all wrestling to be great. I don't want the World Wrestling Federation not to have competition. I don't want them to be fucking stagnant. But my whole point is, let's talk about TNA. There's a reason why half their viewers are gone. Okay, so what have you been watching? You can't say that, oh, TNA made me a hardcore fan of wrestling. Nah, bitch. By the numbers, that's not true. Because how come your ass ain't watching? How come you ain't watching? How come TNA is not on a big ass budget cable network right now as we speak? That's my point. So no, bitch, that brand did not make you a fan. I always view TNA as a alternative. That's all. TNA was always a alternative compared to the World Wrestling Federation, but they were never a competition. So no, you cannot say they made you a fan. Nah, bitch. Brock made you a fan. Triple H made you a fan. John Cena made you a fan, bitch. Fucking JBL, he made you a fan. Motherfucking Eddie G made you a fan. Every fucking luchador Their favorite wrestler is Rey Mysterio. Where has he been at these past 25 years? He's been in the World Wrestling Federation. So yes, everybody watches, everybody is a fan. I don't get it. There should be no such thing as tribalism, and here's why. All Elite Wrestling has only been around for 5 years. So you have no excuse. You can't say that All Elite Wrestling made you a fan unless your ass was born 5 years ago. That's not possible, you stupid dumb idiots. It's just a company that is trying to be the number 2. They are not the end-all be-all. They are trying to compete with the end-all be-all, and that is the World Wrestling Federation. So I don't get you fucking idiots. There's no such thing as a WWE mark. Your favorite wrestler came from the WWE. If you are a fan of Daniel Bryan, where did he come from? If you are a fan of Chris Jericho, where did he come from? If your ass is a fan of Edge, where did he come from? If you like Ricochet, where has he been at these past 8 years? You dumb idiots, right? I'm not wrong here. Everybody and their mama is a fan of the WWE. Everybody is. There's no such thing as a mark for the WWE. If that company made you a fan of wrestling to begin with. Let's talk about Dirty Ass Dominic. Not every casual is familiar with Dirty Ass Dominic outside of being the stepson of Rey Mysterio. So in hindsight, Dirty Ass Dominic is a mid-card guy. In hindsight. Which means you have to have watched Raw every week to know who the fuck he is. So by your logic, that makes you a WWE mark. Like I said, if you find time out of your week to watch Raw for 3 goddamn hours, don't that make you a mark by your standards? That's my point. What is the definition of a WWE mark? I don't get it. We are fans of that company. Everybody is a fan of the WWE. That brand made you love professional wrestling. There's no lies being told. Because if I'm lying, where is Ring of Honor? Where's TNA? How come fucking New Japan Pro Effect Wrestling is dead? Right? So what have your ass been watching? Because All Elite Wrestling, their viewership is going down. So there should not be any tribalism. You ain't watching All Elite Wrestling, bitch. Only the hardcore fans are. But no, it's not growing. But the World Wrestling Federation is growing every week. It's hot. Okay, what made me a fan of fake pro wrestling? Back in 1992, I was at a video store and I saw a cover. It was Survivor Series 1987. And I saw Hogan, Bam Bam Bigelow, Rick Rude, Andre the Giant, fucking Paul Orndorff. I saw those guys on the cover. And I'm like, hold on, who the fuck is this? I'm like, these guys are fucking big and fucking jacked up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I seen the fucking one-man gang, fucking Andre the Giant, on this cover. 1987 Survivor Series. And I asked my mom, I told her, hey, buy me this video. And ever since then, I've been a fan of fake pro wrestling. Back then, I did not know who Hulk Hogan was. But the moment I seen him on the cover, that made me a fan of wrestling. So in hindsight, Hulk Hogan made me a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. A guy that came from the WWF. Like I said, that company is the end-all be-all. Vince McMahon made sure they were the only game in town. Vince McMahon bought out all the territories. He bought out WCW. And if Vince McMahon wanted to be a dick, he could have bought out TNA. If he wanted to be a dick. So yes, bitch, the World Wrestling Federation is the end-all be-all. Hollywood, they only recognize the WWF. If you don't come from that company, you are not going to get any major roles in movies. Look at Drew Mack. Drew Mack is about to do a movie with Dave Bautista. So that's my point. If you want to be a big time star in Hollywood, you gotta come from the WWF. I'm sorry, that's how the game is. That is the only big game in town. If you want to be a fucking global icon, the WWE bubble is real. In terms of, do you know where is Elias? Okay, that's my point. Once you leave those walls, we don't care about you. We don't follow you. Ask Sasha Banks. The moment she left, her fans did not follow her to Japan. So my whole entire point is those walls are very, very real. Once you leave the WWE walls, we are not going to follow your career. Let's talk about Chris Jericho. He is a prime example. Remember, 4 years back, he was fat shamed by the fans of the NBA. Remember, on TNT, because they thought he was still in the World Wrestling Federation. They were shocked that his ass got fat, right? Because they did not follow him to New Japan Pro Fake Wrestling. They did not follow him to All Elite Wrestling, right? Same thing with Edge, same thing with Daniel Bryan. Once you leave those walls, we are not going to follow your career. Ask Ricochet. Oh my gosh, he's a prime example. This dude was crying on social media because some chick told him, yeah, I'm not gonna watch you in All Elite Wrestling, but I'll watch your highlights. That's my point. Once you leave those walls, bruh, you are done to us. You are done to the casual fan. Your fans from the WWF are not going to follow you to All Elite Wrestling. It's called leaving the bubble. You left it, now fuck you. We will watch your highlights, but we're not gonna watch you on a different show that half the world don't really watch. Half the world of wrestling don't watch. Let's talk about Ricochet. This dude was crying on social media because some fan told him that she is not gonna watch him in All Elite Wrestling, but she will watch his highlights and his clips. He was pissed off, right? He was mad. This dude was bitching and crying on Twitter because she told him that statement. You see, that's my point. That's proof. Once you leave those walls, bitch, we are not gonna follow your career, Ricochet. The end-all be-all is the big leagues, the World Wrestling Federation. That's the end-all be-all. That's all we care about. We don't care about second-tier shows. Dynamite is second-tier. We're not gonna follow you. You are not that big a star, bro. Right? It's called the WWE machine. Once you leave that machine, you become exposed. Now, Ricochet has become exposed. His fans truly don't care about him. We only care about you when you on Raw or SmackDown. Now, bruh, we are not gonna follow you on TBS and TNT. No, we don't got that kind of time on our hands. Why? You left the bubble. You left the wall. You left the WWE walls. Now we say fuck you. We will watch your clips and your highlights. That's it. But we are not gonna watch you every week on a different show. That's not good. The WWE is the big leagues. They are the major leagues. The majority of wrestling fans, they only care about what's going on in the WWE.